Hey everyone, welcome back to Emerging Technologies in Business, the podcast where we dive into the exciting worlds of different emerging technologies. Today we're going to be introducing a conversation about the future of energy production and why I believe that nuclear energy is the best solution that we have when it comes to tackling multiple issues at once. Nuclear energy often gets a bad reputation, but it may surprise you how many benefits it brings to the table. And in this episode, I want to have an open discussion about why advanced nuclear reactors are truly our best bet for a sustainable energy future. Before I say too much, let's go ahead and jump into it. First, let's tackle the elephant in the room. It's safety, right? I think for many people, the word nuclear conjures up images of disasters like Chernobyl and Fukushima. But here's the thing. Reactor designs and safety protocols have advanced light years beyond the technologies that we used in those older plants. Modern reactors have a whole suite of passive and active safety measures in place, things like emergency core cooling systems, containment buildings, and trained operators make the chances of an accident infinitely small. Studies show even older reactor designs are safer than many major energy sources that we have today. Of course, another big concern is radioactive waste. But again, the newest advanced reactors help solve this problem. Many can actually recycle and reuse spent fuel, and the waste that remains decays rapidly, rather within decades, rather than the old way, which took millennia. And it's a small volume that they come out with too, so it makes storage and disposal like more manageable. With the right long-term waste management plan, nuclear waste is far from the scary threat that many still think it to be. Now, let's move on to things that are good stuff about nuclear. First, nuclear is incredibly reliable and efficient. These power plants operate consistently at full power over 90% of the time, rain or shine. In contrast to the intermittent renewables like wind and solar that only work under specific conditions. In terms of efficiency, a small amount of nuclear fuel produces a massive amount of electricity. In fact, just one uranium fuel pellet, the size of your fingertip, contains as much energy as 17,000 cubic feet of natural gas, 1,780 pounds of coal, and 149 gallons of oil. So not only does nuclear produce plenty of power, it also provides steady, always-on baseload power to anchor the grid. Even places like France get over 70% of their electricity from this reliable nuclear baseload, unlike the United States, getting about 20% of its electricity from nuclear power today. The crazy part is that France can do this without emitting any of the carbon responsible for climate change. That moves us to our next positive about nuclear. It's one of the most sustainable options that's out there. It emits zero carbon emissions while operating, and over its full life cycle, nuclear's carbon footprint is on par with or lower than most renewables. As of right now, as I said, 20% of the US electricity comes from nuclear, and that nuclear power eliminates 540 million metric tons of CO2 every year. Just think of it. We simply cannot make the deep decarbonization goals that we want to without the help of nuclear. Finally, what's most exciting is the wave of innovation that's happening around the advanced nuclear reactors. Companies are testing out smaller, even safer reactor designs. Projects like Bill Gates' TerraPower are even striving to develop reactors that can run on spent waste. Additional technologies like molten salt reactors run at a higher efficiency, and they have built-in safety features as well. And all of this goes to show that we're beginning to unlock the true benefits and power of nuclear energy. So why isn't nuclear more popular? Well, it's, as I mentioned off the top, past disasters like Chernobyl definitely had an impact on public perception. But modern nuclear reactors have so many safeguards in place that the chances of an accident is really microscopic in the percentage of possibility. And contrary to what you see in movies, it's essentially impossible for a reactor to explode like a nuclear bomb. As for radioactive waste, the newest reactors can actually recycle and reuse spent nuclear fuel. Now, I'm not saying that nuclear doesn't have any downsides. There's still concerns about operating costs and finding places that are going to be willing to store the waste. But when you compare it to fossil fuels that pollute the air and hurt the public health, or renewables like solar and wind, which lack reliability, nuclear comes out looking pretty good to the future of a carbon-free energy. To leave you with my final points, nuclear is reliable, sustainable, and innovative. With the right safety measures and waste management put in place, next generation reactors can absolutely be a key factor in clean energy for the future. So I encourage everyone to keep an open mind about the exciting potential of nuclear moving forward. That's going to do it for today on our episode about nuclear being the best energy. If you like this content, leave us a like. Argue with us in the comments. Send this to someone and tell them to watch. Or just watch another one of these videos that pop up on above my head here on YouTube. I do want to take the time to thank our sponsor, Kincannon XR. The future is XR, and if you're working in the XR world or looking to step into the future with XR, Kincannon XR is here to help bring your XR dreams into a reality. Regardless if you're developing your own app or if you're looking for a helping hand to take an idea to the next level, Kincannon is here to help. Reach out to Kincannon XR by emailing them at inquiry@kincannonxr.com. You, of course, can also find our podcast on social media at ETIB Podcasts. And if you like this episode, like I mentioned, subscribe, like, yell at somebody in the comments. Let's have a good day with it. That's going to do it for today. I've been your host, Brock Riney. We'll talk some more emerging tech next time. Bye, everybody. I'm going to redo the ending real quick.